Alright, today's my birthday, and I just finished the second book in Red Rising, and it is the last book I will be reading in the series because I hated the ending. Very cool. It was really good ending, it just pissed me off, so now I don't want to read the rest of the series. Mustard is dead, bro. Mustard is dead. I don't know if I said that in the last video, but I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I started calling Mustang Reaper Mustard, spelled with an E. He got spelled like Tarantino. Oh, wait, this is gonna be weird. We'll see how that goes. The mic's gonna be fucked up. It's fine. I started calling them the Mustard. That was like their ship name. And they're dead. They're not dead, like the relationship is dead, which is really sad. Low-key, that was the reason why I was reading the book. Anyways, Golden Sun, part 2. Starts off, we're like 2 years in the future. They're like playing another game, and it's right at the end of it, and it's Darrow versus Cassius's older brother. And basically, Darrow is like about to win, but then I forget if they like cheated or like I don't know, something like some crazy shit happened. Cassius's older brother kills like a ton of people just to win this like simulation game. And then, so that's how it starts. And Darrow is apparently like a fucking disappointment. He's he's okay, I forget if I said this in the last one, but he works for Augustus, for like the arch governor. But he's like about to get cut from the team because he's like bad now, I guess. He fell off. So yeah. But then I forget what happens, honestly. Oh, okay, no. The beginning of the book is crazy. So like Loki was ass, and it's like, oh, Mustang's on the moon, she's being a politician, and they don't talk anymore because she pushed her away. Which like is fair. But like, bro, the whole book, okay, this is why I didn't like the ending. The whole book, I was like, bro, just tell them that you are red. Because, spoiler alert, Severo knows because Fitchner is Aries. That's actually a really big spoiler, but it's not that big of a deal. So like people know and they don't care. So it's like, obviously he didn't know that, but as soon as he found that out, like I'm instantly telling her. Instantly. But he eventually does end up telling her, and I'll tell what happens when we get to that part. So anyways, yeah. So they have this big gala, and it's like basically Darrow is like cut from the Augustus family after this. So after that, the Bolognas can come in and just kill him like whenever they want. So he's like, oh, no. So he gets a mission from the Sons of Ares because it's like all the powerful golds are at this thing. They're like, nuke it. Because, not from Ares, from Harmony, because her and Evie like split. They took Mickey and like split away from the group, and they're like actual terrorists now. They like suck. They like tell him that Dancer's dead, and like they're like terrible people now. And they're like, go bomb the gala. So he's gonna bomb it, but then he's like, wait, I could do something even better. So he like stands up on a table and he's like, Cassius. Oh, by the way, Mustang is like dating Cassius now, but not for love. It's like a power move, and not one to spite Darrow because she's like trying to keep her father alive basically, and she's like trying to improve her rank in society. Yeah, so it's like purely tactical. He has a tiny dick and he's a horrible lover. But they're together, and Darrow's like, oh, it's like a blade to my heart. Like, bitch, your wife died, like, how many fucking days ago? I mean, it's like 2 years at this point, but like, brother, priorities. Anyways, he's like, Cassius, you're a bitch. I'm gonna duel you and beat the fuck out of you. Me. He's like making this whole big show. He like walks across their table like a Billy Badass. And then they're like, Bologna is like rising into power, and Augustus is like their stocks are going down. So everyone's like chill with it, and they're like, Cassius is about to whip his ass because our good friend Reaper here is famously terrible with, what's it called? A razor. I don't know why it's called a razor. It's like a whip sword that's like broken. It goes through everything. I guess. I don't know. It's like a lightsaber, but also a whip. That's how we'll describe it. So yeah, they're gonna duel, but Darrow knows something that Cassius doesn't, He's not left-handed, so easily he smacks him. No, that's not how it happens. He trains under, like, the best sword razor man of all time, Lorne Arkos. Oh, yeah. One cool thing that I kind of realized with this book, they, like, in the last book with Pax Aw Telemanus, the Aw it's AU, and it's the element that is associated with their color. Because the blues are like Z for xenon, I think. The coppers are Ku for copper, obviously. I'm assuming the other ones are also, in line. I didn't check, but I would assume the other ones are just with that same thing, which is actually pretty cool. Shout out the Periodic Table. So he starts a duel with Cassius, and it's like close. They're like trading blows, and then he like does some crazy shit. They're talking about like sets. Like, you attack and you do, like, 7 slashes, and that's, like, the main way to do it, but Lauren apparently taught him some other, like, crazy shit, and he does, like, 12, and he basically just embarrasses the fuck out of Cassius. He cuts off his arm, and then everyone's like, oh, shit, because they thought Cassius was gonna win. They wanted him to win, so the Sovereign's like, stop this, and she stops them, but they called a duel, and it's to the death, so Reaper rightfully is like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill him, because I'm allowed to kill him. It was to the death. And then everyone's like, oh, no, you can't do it. Me. So he's like, they have like a whole back and forth thing. But then he's like, wait a minute, I can just fucking kill him because no one's moving and I can just walk up and kill him. So he goes to do that. But then Mustang like stops him, which is fair because she's still in love with him. They're still in love with each other, I should say. And basically gives enough time for the Bolognas to attack him. Basically, the entire thing, it turns into a fucking bloodbath. The beginning of the book, very boring. Once again, I didn't care for it. Yeah. But then we get to the bloodbath, and I'm like, holy shit. I was like reeling. I was like, this cannot be happening. I took forever to read the first part of this book, bro. But once I get to this part, bro, I finished it in like literally 3 days. I think I read like 300 pages in the last 3 days. I've been fucking eating this thing up. It's so good until the end. But it's so good. Even the ending is really good, but I'm just bitter. Yeah, so they basically like have a massive brawl. Just everybody's flying everywhere. And something that happens here that is really bad is the Jackal is trying to come into power. Augustus' son. And he like drugs this guy, I low-key forget his name. We'll just call him Needle Knight Letta. Needle Dick Letta. Yeah, but he's like the main warrior of the Augustus house. And the Jackal drugs him. I don't even know the Jackal's real name. It's like Adrian or something. It's not that important. He's the Jackal. He drugs him so that he dies. And Carnus Bologna, the like main Bologna son now, just like lops his head off. It's like, damn, right? So the Jackal's obviously up to some bad shit, but him and Reaper have like an alliance for some reason. I don't know what the fuck Reaper was thinking, because it's like clearly this guy just is going to do what is best for him, which he does. Spoiler alert. But you knew that if you know anything about these books. Okay. Okay. Wait, I actually did write that in my notes. Oh yeah, Fitchner is my new favorite character because he like comes in at the end to arrest like all the Augustus house people because like technically they're not supposed to do that. And he comes in and then the Jackal starts talking to him and he's like, was I talking to you? No, shut the fuck up, I'm talking to Reaper. And he just like keeps talking. He just fucking shoots him with this pulse fist. That's what they call it. I don't know what it actually does. I'm assuming it's kind of like a stun gun except it blows you backwards. So he fucking just bam, BTA's the Jackal. And I'm like, yo, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And then Augustus steps his ass up, bam, pulse fist on the ground. And I was like, yo, Fitchner is the GOAT. And this is before Fitchner does anything actually cool. Because this guy, I'm looking around the camera. Fitchner locks the fuck in for this book until the end. But he locks in. He's such a good character. Oh my god, he's my favorite. Oh yeah, apparently there's like a bunch of knights. There's like the Rage Knight and this whatever knight. And one of the knights is the Protean Knight. Like the Greninja ability. And I was like, holy shit, why is Greninja in this game? I shit you not, on the next page, there's an 8-year-old boy named Lysander. So it's literally just fucking Pokemon Gen 6. Like, all of a sudden, bro, It's just Gen 6. Anyways, how do we get to that point? Right, they get arrested. Darrow goes and talks to the Sovereign, and they have this big chat. And Mustang walks in because she is, like, trying to rise to power under the Sovereign to take over. Because her thing, she's just going to take over. Like, doing the same thing as Darrow's doing, except politically instead of violently. Which is the right choice. She's the GOAT. Until the end. I'm going to keep saying that, but it's true, bro. It's true. So anyways, they have a thing, and then the Sovereign plays this game, and she's like, all right, so I have these, like, killer scorpions. She just has them for some reason, and if you lie, they will kill you. Which is pretty badass, to be honest. She just, like, has them in a box. It's like the box in, what's it called? Dune. I read the prequels and, like, the first and second one. Those books are really good. I read them a while ago. I'm not going to do a video. And that was kind of what it reminded me of, but it was like a lie detector, basically. And at the end of that game, Darrow is like, did you plan to assassinate the Augustus, like, house at the gala? And she was like, no, I did not. Bam! Scorpion venom right to the fucking vein. They cut that shit off real fast, and Mustang is in the room, and she is pissed the fuck off. She is like off her gourd. She is angry. I low-key forget what happens. My notes are really bad for this book. It's like a page, man, and it's mostly like bullshit. Like, on 150, I wrote "Mustard's back, baby" in all caps, and that's that's one of my notes. They were very back. They were very back. But, like, yeah. So basically, after that happens, they leave, and they're like, okay, fuck. They're, like, in space, and they're like, well, how are we gonna combat this? Because they took over, the bad guys have taken over Mars. They can't go to Mars. So, like, what are they gonna do? They plot, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go steal all these ships from all these different places, right? And then, I forget. Oh, they, like, steal someone's ship, and there's this dude on the, he's a stained, which is, like, a goat obsidian, basically. He's ginormous. He, like, kills multiple people with his bare hands. He's actually the goat. He's actually one of my favorite characters as well. He's just a simple guy. But in the book, I gotta see if I can find a page. What, 196? Oh wait, here's the page. Oh my god, I flipped right to it! Holy shit. But, if you can see, oh yeah, you can tell. This line here is, his name's Ragnar. That's him talking. He talks in bold, bro. Which is, like, low-key racist, but also low-key tough at the same time. I feel like, at first I was like, that's hella racist. But then after that, I was like, hold on. It's kind of tough. He just has aura. He just has so much aura. It, like, he has a different font and shit. Which is low-key pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I didn't take any notes on, like, the last, like, 100 pages of the book. Wait, no, I can check, because my last note is on 376. Oh, the last, like, 50 pages. Yeah, anyways, my notes are really bad, as I've said. Yeah, so the Obsidian's talking bold. Mustard is so back again, once again. Don't really remember what happened. I think they just, like, started, like, to work out their problems. Oh, one thing that pissed me off, bro, is I was at the point where I was like, all right, bro. Like, Mustang has been talking so much game about how she, like, doesn't fuck with the current system and how, like, all this shit should be changed. And, like, it's, like, very clear to me, anyways, that she would be totally down on the whole regime change thing. the whole United States bread and butter thing. So I'm like pissed off. I'm like, bro, just tell her. And one night she comes knocking at his door, knocking. Axl Rose, and fucking, so he lets her in, and they're, like, chatting it up. She's, like, fucking with him. She's, like, hitting him with the fake sword. And then eventually he says something. I forget what it was. I forget a lot of things about this book, dude. Low-key, like, not a lot happens. It's like something huge happens, and they're like, okay, well, what do we do? And then bam, something huge happens, and then it's like, okay, well, what do we do? And then bam. This is one of the in-between parts, but it's important to me. And so she's like, tell me to stay and I'll stay, but you keep all of us at an arm's distance. You know, you're stiff-arming everybody. Like Severo and Roke and Tactus and all your friends. Like, like, you don't actually have any friends. You just use us and you keep us arm resistance. And he just, like, doesn't argue with it. And she just fucking leaves. It's like, bro, just tell her, gang. She's in on the fucking plan. You know who else is in on the fucking plan? Is Severo. Severo is a fucking son of Ares. Just boom. He, like, I think this is actually before. I'm going way the fuck out of order. It doesn't matter. Severo at one point, like, jumps. Or, no. Reaper goes to talk to Severo at one point, and he's like, and Severo's like, put it down. And he's like, what? And he's like, put down a jam shield. I know you have one. So he puts it down so no one can hear him, and Severo, like, gives him this thing, and it's like a communique from Dancer, who is supposedly dead according to Harmony, but he's not actually dead. And then, so yeah, Severo is a son of Ares. Just, I guess he is, bro. It'll make sense in a minute, once I get there. I'm going pretty fast, actually. So yeah, they go, like, they steal some ships, and then this guy, Pliny, who's not that, I mean, he's important in the book, but I'm gonna gloss over him because he's an asshole and I don't like him. He's, like, a political guy that works for Augustus, but he actually hates Augustus and Darrow, and he just wants to get power for himself. So he, like, he sells them out to the Sovereign, when they go to attack the ships, but then they, like, still get out, and then they board his ship with all these people who betrayed him, and they make, like, a whole show of how he's, like, a little pussy ass bitch. And then Darrow just, like, humiliates him and makes him kiss his ring. And then he fucking leaves and someone stabs him. I forget why that story was important. I just wanted to say it. Fuck Pliny. Oh, yeah. So now Darrow is going to talk to Lorne because he wants Lorne's help for some reason. I look-y don't know why. No, I do know why. Because the Sovereign knew that he was going to go to talk to Lorne. And then he knew that the Sovereign knew, so he set a trap, and it low-key worked mostly pretty well. Except it didn't work that well. It worked like 90%, I would say. They set a trap. Oh, yeah. Tactus, at one point they had Lysander as, like, a hostage because he's the Sovereign's, like, grandson. Her, like, only heir to the throne. And they had him hostage. And then Tactus is like, oh, yeah, I'll go show him around the ship. And he fucking jumps out of the ship back to the Sovereign. He fucking sells out, which is, like, crazy. He sells out like a bitch. He goes soft, starts calling himself Detroit Southwest Lover, puts his ugly-ass face on the album cover. Yeah, he sells out to the Sovereign. And then he comes back to ambush them at Lorne's place. But it doesn't work. And they kill, like, everybody except Aja, who is... She's the Protean Knight. She's Greninja. Yeah. She's, like, evil. She's, like, Lorne, but younger and cooler and more Greninja-like. So she gets away. She kills Quinn at some point, and Roke is, like, pissed about it. And, like, the only reason he wanted to help with that... He's, like, pissed off at Darrow for being a shit friend, which is fair. He is a shit friend, and Roke deserves way better. Although, fuck Roke. The ending sucks. I feel like creaking. Am I on a fucking pirate ship? So, yeah. So, Aja gets away. She, like, goes into the sea or whatever. But they have Tactus. And Darrow eventually convinces Tactus. Tactus, like, turns into Anakin Skywalker. He, like, finds all of Lorne's, like, kids and, like, servants. And they're all just, like, hiding. And he's, like, about to kill them all. Like, he's fucking Anakin. Like, what the fuck? This is just for no reason. But Darrow talks him down. He's like, you're my friend. Like, I know I've treated you like shit. I forgive you for selling out. Like, just come back to me now, and this just never happened. I will treat you better, I promise. Tactus breaks down sobbing. It's a great moment. They hug. Whatever, they start making out a little bit. Lorne, for no fucking reason, just kills Tactus. Like, why? He didn't touch anybody. He was gonna Skywalker them, but he didn't. He held back. And fucking Lorne just stabs him in the armpit and kills him. I guess there's an artery in one of your armpits. Don't know which one. Don't quote me on that. So if you ever get in a street fight and you want to kill somebody, you can stab him in the armpits and just, like, jiggle the knife around. It'll probably hit an artery. You'd also go for the neck, but this is way funnier. So yeah, Lorne just fucking kills him for, like, basically no reason. I mean, he did ambush them, but, like, he didn't really do anything. So yeah, that was cool. And basically, Lorne, like, doesn't want to join Darrow, but he's like, forced to, because of the ambush. It was really well played by Darrow, to be honest. Except for not capturing Aja, which comes back to bite him. Oh, yeah, on page 208, I low-key forget what happened to make me think this, but I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure that either Fitchner or Severo is Ares himself. And I was like, this is based off, like, basically vibes, but I was like, I gotta put it down on the fucking paper. Because I was like, you know, maybe this happens. I think this is my one prediction for the whole book. Oh, yeah, and then, someone was trying to convince Darrow to rise to power on his own. He was like, no, I don't have enough clout. And he, like, literally said it like that. I was like, wow, clout? That's a crazy word to say. But they are trying to figure out what to do in the aftermath of all of this shit that just happened. And this is something that I really want to talk about. Although, I'll talk about it later. I'll say the quote now. Where's that fucking noise coming from? Anyways, it's not a quote. It's like a paraphrase. At one point, Neuro is saying, he says basically, like, if we were good people, we would look like fucking pussies. We can't do that shit. We can't be good. We have to be despicable. And I was like, bro, I don't think... Okay, now we're not getting into it until the end, because it'll make more sense and I can say more things at the end. There's a Sabaton reference on 241. I actually don't remember what it was, so I'm going to look. I love Sabaton. They're amazing. That guy can have my kids. He's such a sexy voice. Not getting anything but damn. Oh, yeah, they crossed the Rubicon. I don't know why I'm so hyped about this. They talk about shit like that all the time. It's always Sabaton, because that's what Sabaton does. They talk about shit. Oh, yeah. Pax's dad is, like, the GOAT. At one point, he yells his own name, and that's where Pax got it from. He's like, Kavox, Telemonas. And I was like, that's the greatest moment ever of all time. They got into another battle. There's a lot of battles in this book. I'm low-key not even doing the plot. The plot is, like, they have a battle, and then some shit happens, and Darrow, like, the rift between Darrow and his friends grow because he's not being honest with them, because, he's a red. He can't really be honest with them. Except Severo. Severo is the only one that knows. He should have told Mustang at this point, but he didn't. And basically, that happened for the whole book, until we get to this part. They try to storm, like, the capital of Mars or whatever, and basically their shit gets fucking rocked. They had the Sons of Ares, like, carve a tunnel underneath this river, but the bad guys knew about it. So they were wearing, like, all these, like mech suits, basically, and they had, like, this girl just, like, do an EMP, and they all got fucking cooked. And basically everybody dies except for Mustang, some of the Howlers, and, like, Severo, and Reaper, and Ragnar, the Stained guy. They, like, all sink to the bottom of like, the river, and they're stuck in the mud, but, like, Reaper saves them. He, like, uses his razor to cut himself out of his mech suit, which is, like, low-key the toughest thing I've ever heard. And then they, like, go up and kill all the guys that are still there. And then they save a bunch of people. And then Mustang disables the shield on her Metal Beard arc. Yeah, but she does that. They storm the thing. They win the battle. But, okay, yeah. Oh, here's what happens that is really bad for Darrow. He gives Ragnar a razor, which you're not allowed to do. As an Obsidian, you're, like, not allowed to use a razor. I don't know if that extends to other weapons, too. Just, like, gold. There's, like, weapons that are, like, gold class, and you can't use them if you're another color. So he gives Ragnar a razor, and he goes buck wild with it. He fucks everyone's shit up, bro. He's, like, the most goated warrior of all time. And they're like, he's using a razor, what the heck? But, like, at this point, the only person who cares is, like, Thistle. It's like, who the fuck is Thistle? She's one of the Howlers, but, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, nobody gives a fuck that this guy is using a razor. Like, everyone's chill with it. So, like, at this point, bro, just tell him you're a red, bro. Maybe not Augustus, but, like, tell Roke and tell Mustang, at least. Because Sever already knows. The Jackal, you don't want to tell him anything. And Ragnar, Loki already knows, too. Because he tells Ragnar, like, pledges his service to him at one point. And then at one point, Darrow's like, fuck that. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, you're not my slave. Do what you want. And then he's like, okay, well, I'll just choose to follow you. Which, like, is pointless, but it's powerful because it's like, now this guy, instead of just being duty-bound to Darrow, he is choosing to follow him, and he can make other, like, autonomous decisions. Like, after he gives Ragnar the Razor. There's like a bunch of obsidians that are still left alive, and so Darrow has Ragnar take all of them that are alive to go do something. I don't remember what they do, to be honest. Go fight people, go like help take the wall over, and he gives them all razors, and he has Ragnar lead them, which is like, oh yeah, when he gets like accused of being a Democrat, I was like, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard. The guy that wrote this book is definitely not American. Which is funny. Okay. So anyways, they're in the mud, and but they need to like get over this wall, and all their grav boots are fucked, so they can't do it. But they can do it. They get Reaper on top of the wall, but then the boots fail, and no one else can get up. And Reaper just leaves. He just goes and rushes the Citadel, which is like their castle. And everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Because like, obviously they want to go with him, but he knows there's not enough time, so he just runs. He runs and goes and gets them. He like does some crazy shit. He like jumps and grabs the plane and climbs onto it like a fucking idiot. He just goes up with well, actually he does have a plan, but it's a shitty plan. He goes up with like a grenade, and he's like, if you try to hurt me, I'll just drop the grenade and we're all dead. And then the pilot just does a barrel roll and he fucking drops it, but he hadn't primed it, so he just looks like an idiot. It's like, well, that was a fucking amazing plan, you dumbass. And then he gets caught, and he's like about to get his head chopped off, and like it's gonna be filmed for the public and shit. But if you'll remember my fucking prediction from page 208, Fitchner is fucking Ares, bro. I had the craziest pop off. I was like, holy shit, he's the guy. It's like fucking Spy Kids 3, bro. When Elijah Wood comes in, it's like, it's the guy, and he fucking gets one shot. Fiction doesn't get one shot. But yeah, he takes him off the helicopter, and they win the battle. Mom's calling me. I'll talk to her after this. This is important. So they're like celebrating. They win. They get Mars. Blah 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 blah. And then, dude, I have been saying a lot how I am not a fan of cracking in these books, bro. But in this book, for Mustard, dude, anything goes, man. Anything goes. And I was like, yes. We're so back. We weren't fully back. I wrote down, glad they cracked, but tell her you're a red, bro. Which, like, he should have done. He should have done that. And he does do it. They have, like, another battle, like a minor one. And he's like, oh, yeah. No, wait. What happened? Before that battle that just happened, he's like, after this battle, I'm going to tell her that I'm a red. And I was like, cool, man. Good job. That's good for you. But he gets, like, absolutely fucked in his battle. He, like, it's, like, on death's door. He's in a coma for, like, 2 weeks. He wakes up, and he's like, I'm going to tell her. Oh, he has, like, a meeting with the Sons of Ares now that he knows who Ares is. They have, like, a full meet and greet and shit. And they talk, and then he's like, I got to go back to Lycos to see my family, to see... Oh, my voice just cracked. To, like, see my people and shit. And he's like, I'm bringing Mustang. And they're like, do not do that shit, brother. That is not gonna go well. And I was like, fuck where you're saying. I'm with Darrow on this one, baby. I was like, she's locked in. She ain't gonna fucking care. We are golden. We are fucking golden on this shit. So he brings her into Lycos. He gives her the thing that shows him being carved, which, low-key, was a terrible idea. I'd have just told her, man. I'd have just been like, I'd have been gripping her arm so she can't run, but I'd have been like, Mustang, I'm a red. But I'd been holding her shit so she couldn't run away. But I wouldn't have been like, I'm gonna go talk to my mom. Here's a video of them cutting apart my body and giving me a new body. Like, so your dick is fake? It's not even real. It's not even real, bro. Like, So anyways, she, like, freaks out, understandably so. Like, who wants to see fucking somebody get their body, like, re-stitched? That's disgusting. He has a nice chat with his mom, though. His mom, low-key, says some crazy shit. She's like, I never even liked EO. And I was like, damn, that's brutal, brother. Like, his wife's dead, man. She's dead. You can't say shit like that. But she low-key had a point. She's got this fire. She was like, no, she was like, she's a sweet girl and she loves you with everything that she has, but she has this fire in her that is just not safe for us. And she's right, because Darrow gets his shit rocked from this moment forward. Mustang freaks out, but he had a backup plan in case this happened. He has Severo and Ragnar waiting, so if she freaks out, they'll, like, kill her, I guess. Which, fucking horrible plan. Like, oh, I guess if this person that I love doesn't fuck with me anymore, I'll just kill them. Like, no, you're obviously not gonna fucking kill her. Are you stupid? So then she, like, pretends to flee. Ragnar and Severo leave because they're fucking stupid. No, Severo leaves. Actually, Ragnar stays because he's the goat. But she doesn't know that. So she puts a gun to his head and she's like, say it ain't so. That's not what she says. She's, like, pissed. Which, like, low-key fair. No, it's not fair, actually. This is the part... Okay, this is where we get to the quote. I think I already said it. Like, just be a fucking good person, man. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but her rationale for being against this is so whack to me. Like, no, it makes sense. It's like, she's just like, so you're gonna kill my family. Basically, the way she sees it is she's like, even if I'm at the top with you, like, you are gonna kill my family. That's just how it's gonna go. And, like, low-key, he's like, well, maybe, if that's what it comes to. It's just like, brother, that's what it's gonna come to. Let's fucking be honest with ourselves. But I don't get why she's so attached to her family. Because her family low-key treats her like shit. Like, the jackal, asshole. Her father doesn't care about her. That's, like, the only people in her family. So what are we doing here? Like, come on, bro. Like, fucking, oh my god. Do it for love, man. I don't get it. Love should win, and it fucking doesn't win. That's why I'm not reading more of these books, because love doesn't win. But this brings me to my point, like, just be a good person. Like, it's not that hard. It's okay, like, no, it is hard to be a good person. Like in real life. Not like in this book, it is very fucking easy for them to be good people. Just fucking kill the bad people. And it's like, it's not that hard. They're shitty warriors anyways. We're not talking about that. In real life, bro, it is hard to be a good person. But it's not that hard. It's hard, but it's not at the same time. Like, to every single time do the right thing, or whatever you think is right in the moment, you're not gonna do it every single time. Like, that is just impossible. Because you're never gonna do the right thing every single time, right? And it's like, it's fair. But it is not that hard to be like, we have slaves. They don't like being slaves. Nah, fuck that shit. They can do whatever the fuck we want them to do. Like, what? What? Do they know who MLK is? Like, what? Obviously they don't, because they just rewrote the history books. They say, like, multiple times, like, whoever... History is whatever the powerful make it. Which, like... Speaking, like... From what I know about shit from, like, the Lego movie, like, that's low-key right. That was such a terrible joke. I couldn't figure out how to get it out. I just wanted to mention the Lego movie. That's such a good joke of the Lego movie. All history books? Wait a minute. Anyways. So, yeah. Like, it just pisses me off that this is the way people are. It's like, it's not that hard to be good, bro. Just be a better person. And, like, obviously it's like, this is a book, like, realistically, people in real life probably wouldn't respond like this, but, I mean, a person wrote this book, so, I mean, he obviously wanted a fucking sequel, because there's, like, 7 books in this fucking series, but, like, I don't know, you definitely still could have had a fucking sequel if they still love each other. Like, it wouldn't have been that hard, man. I'll write it, bro. I'll write it for you, I promise. Yeah, like, it really would not take that much work. I would just edit the ending slightly so that she was there. She just, like, leaves the book. But yeah, and towards the end, like, all of his friends betray him. They find out that he's a red, and Roke at the end, which, like, to be fair, Roke has gone through so much shit, and it's mostly Darrow's fault. Like, Leah dying wasn't really his fault, but, like, he's there, right? He's, like, but not only physically is he there, but, like, just he mars that experience for Roke. And then Quinn dies, and Quinn dies right under under Reaper's nose, basically. I mean, she like gets punched in the head really hard by Aja. And then they try to save her, but they can't. And like that's a huge blow for Roke. And then Darrow just isn't a good friend. He tries to mend it a couple of times, but he just doesn't do enough. And eventually Roke betrays him. And it's like, you know, I really thought better of the character. Like, I'm disappointed, man. Like, no one is good. And towards the end, Darrow is kind of like, Nero isn't really a bad guy. He's doing what he thinks is best for humanity. But I disagree. Like, it's fine if you're doing what you think is right, but when what you think is right is so completely fucking wrong, it gets to a point where it's like lock in, bro. That shit is just not, it's false. You're wrong. You are wrong. You need to lock in, fix your shit, stop it with the fucking color system, bro. Like, we don't need a racism simulator. I don't know. It was just really, the ending was really depressing to me. Mustang leaves him. She would have killed him if Ragnar wasn't there to stop her. Actually. And it's just, you know, part of it is probably just my frustrations this, like, term of school. I have, like, no friends, basically. No, I have friends, but for a while there, they stopped showing up, and that really hurt. But I mean, they all wished me happy birthday today, and I didn't tell anyone it was my birthday. So they found out through like Snapchat, and I was really happy about that. But yeah, just my frustrations with friends and people, and you know, myself and my life. It really rubbed me the wrong way that there's so many people doing the wrong things in this book. Not like just like making the wrong decision. Like, it's like hindsight 2020. You're gonna make bad decisions. It happens. But like making the morally incorrect decision. Like, okay, it's morally correct to be a vegan, but not everyone can be vegan. Like, this vegan school, my food fucking sucks. Like, I'm not gonna do that to myself. I'd rather like just kill myself at that point. I'll never bench 225 again, bro. If I start eating vegan food here, I'd probably die in a week. Like, I eventually want to be vegan, but it just is not in the cards for me right now. So it's like, that sucks, you know. So like, you don't always have to make the perfect moral choice, but you gotta try. You gotta at least try. And people in this book, they don't try, which I get that it's the point, but honestly, I'm frustrated, and I also don't want to have to pay for the rest of the book because the library doesn't have any more of them. But I will not be reading the rest of the series. I hope Mustard is a thing. Mustang comes around. I have a feeling, based on how the book ended, Augustus dies, Lorne dies, Fitchner dies. Basically, the only cool people left are Severo and Ragnar and Reaper. For some reason, they don't kill him on the spot. But I think they're gonna, like, decarve him. They're gonna, like, turn him back into a red, which would low-key be the sickest thing ever. If that happens, bro, somebody let me know. I might buy the third book to read it if that's what happens, because that sounds fucking amazing. But I'll only read it if Mustard happens. If Mustard doesn't happen, bro, I'm not reading that shit. I'm not reading it. Those are my demands from fucking Pierce Brown. I need Mustard to happen, and I need Darrow. Well, I don't need this. This is like it would be nice. It would very much convince me to read it. But yeah. So I either need Mustard to happen, or I need Darrow to turn back into a red, into an Irish guy. They actually mention Irish people. Apparently, that's like, I was right. They are just Irish, which is fucking crazy. Yeah, but it was really good. The ending just made me sad. I wish humanity was better, and I might become a therapist. So yeah, that's about all I got. Smash like. See you in the next one, babe.